Hi guys, welcome to another reading vlog. So today's Thursday, I'm working from home. This is my lunch break and it's a beautiful day. It is starting to actually finally feel like spring. So I think after work I'm gonna go for a walk and maybe listen to an audiobook. I got rid of my Audible account because I wasn't using it enough. So I got a library card and I've been borrowing audiobooks from them, which is really cool. And I currently have Clara in the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro, and I have a bunch of other books on hold, but like a couple of the books on my TBR list that I want to get to this month, I requested the audiobooks for, like The Bad Muslim Discount, Master of One, and Legendborn, but Legendborn especially, I don't think I'm going to get this month on audio. I might just have to read that one physically. But I think The Bad Muslim Discount will become available in a couple days. So I don't want to go too crazy. I feel like my reading list right now is really chaotic because I'm currently about, I'm almost done with Finlay Donovan is Killing It, which I'm loving. And on my Kindle, I'm reading an arc of My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. Two very different books. And the only book I've actually gotten to on my physical TBR this month has been Act Your Age, Eve Brown. So it's only the 8th, which isn't too bad, but I also don't want to distract myself with a bunch of other books that aren't on my TBR. I started reading Finlay Donovan because I was really excited to get into that one. That one's a new release for me, or a new purchase for me. I think it came out in February, actually. And so I couldn't wait to read this, so I kind of bumped the rest of my TBR out of the way to pick this one up. And I got through it pretty quickly, so again, feeling good about it. But Clara in the Sun also isn't on my official TBR, and I do want to read it, but it's about a 10-hour audiobook, so I don't really know what to do. So I feel bad bumping my physical TBR for another book, but that's the only audiobook that I have for my sort of requests at my library that's available. Oh well, when I finish Finlay Donovan, I'll probably pick one of them, maybe Legendborn, since I don't think I'm gonna get that audiobook in time. But yeah, so again, beautiful spring day. I'm gonna try to spend as much time outside as I can after work. It gets pretty cold at night, even in early spring when it's up to 60 during the day. So I won't have a whole lot of time, but I'm hoping to squeeze a walk in. So take you with me on that, and probably vlog through the rest of the weekend. It's Thursday now. I don't really have any plans for this weekend other than reading and recording the YouTube videos that my boyfriend and I usually do on Saturday. So figure I'll take you along on my reading journey for the next couple of days.
Hello, puppy. Good morning. Are you taking a nap? Are you taking a nap? Yeah.
Alright guys, so it is officially 4:30. I am off the clock. I have my wireless earbuds to listen to my audiobook as I go for a walk. And I'm also I think there's a couple little free libraries in my neighborhood, so I'm gonna walk around and try to find those. I'm gonna grab a couple books to kind of trade things out with in case I find anything, and yeah, I'm so excited to finally get some fresh air after 8 hours. It's a shame to be cooped up inside on such a beautiful spring day. Alright, so sorry I didn't vlog too much. It got pretty cold pretty fast. But I did manage to make it to both of the little libraries that are kind of like in my little neighborhood. I think I actually only grabbed books from the first one. I did drop off books at both. But the second one just didn't have anything that I was really interested in. So in the first one, I grabbed Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. It's the movie cover, which is not my favorite, but I happened wanting to read this. I was actually listening to his new release, Clara in the Sun, as I was walking around, so I thought this was kind of serendipitous. If I do end up liking it, I'll probably donate this one, just because, again, I don't love the cover. But I figured it was, you know, free way to check out a book I wasn't sure if I'd like, so that worked out. And then I actually found an ARC copy of The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh, which I've heard a lot about. I have not read any Renee Ahdieh. I actually have The Wrath and the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger on my TBR shelf, and I'm more interested in reading those, but I have heard this is really good. It's like a vampire story set in New Orleans, and I've heard it's kind of like very slow burn, lyrical sort of story. So I'm intrigued, and again, it's funny that it's an ARC copy. I guess that kind of makes sense because you're not allowed to sell these. So if you don't want it anymore, you kind of have to just give it away. So that's a good idea for the little libraries. So yeah, not sure when I'll get to these two, but I thought they were good finds, and the color palettes are sort of complementary, so I think that's funny. But yeah, and I figured while I was sitting here, I would share a couple other finds that I got from my local bookstore Tuesday. I usually go on Tuesdays because it's new book release day, but I didn't get any new releases that day, which is kind of funny. I found The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. It's been on my TBR for a while. I think I put it on my TBR sometime like last fall because it sounds like a really creepy gothic tale. And this is a beautiful hard copy edition, or hardcover edition rather. I got it for $3. I don't know why it was so cheap. There's not even a bargain book mark on it. The only thing I can find is whoever owned this last has, I don't even know if you can see that. They did like they have like a custom, I can't remember what that's called now. Is it an embosser? Either way, they have like a library kind of stamp on it. But I didn't even notice that when I was in the store. Like, I was more just amazed that it was $3. It's got this cool key cutout, and then when you open it, there's a face. So that's so cool. And again, I have been wanting to read this, so this wasn't just like a random aesthetic buy. This was a book that I've been looking for, so I thought that was cool. Again, it's very gothic. Actually, let me just read this little blurb. Newly married, newly widowed, Elsie is sent to see out her pregnancy at her late husband's crumbling country estate, The Bridge. With her new servants resentful and the local villagers actively hostile, Elsie has only her husband's awkward cousin for company. Or so she thinks. For inside her new home is a locked room, and beyond its door lies a 200-year-old diary hinting at the house's dark past and a deeply unsettling painted wooden figure, a silent companion, that bears a striking resemblance to Elsie herself. Oh, that's so creepy! So yeah, I thought this was such a cool find, especially for $3. So gotta always search the stacks because you never know what you're gonna find. And then I've got a book that actually I had almost purchased before. This is the exact copy, and I'd gone back and forth on whether I wanted it. It's a used copy, and it's really pretty, but I knew nothing about it. I was getting a couple other books at the time, so I put it back. But then I heard that they're making a show, and Claire Danes and Tom Hiddleston are gonna be in it. And as soon as I heard Tom Hiddleston, I was like, sold. So next time I went to my bookstore, this copy was still there and it was still $10. So I got The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. And again, look how gorgeous this cover is. Oh my god. And it's got deckled edges. It looks like this really cool vintage, just beautiful, beautiful book. And oh my god, and the end papers are this gorgeous mustard. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous book. But yeah, this actually is another gothic tale with another widow. So this one says, London 1893. When Cora Seaborn's brilliant, domineering husband dies, she steps into her new life as a widow with as much relief as sadness. Her marriage was an unhappy one, and she never suited the role of society wife. Seeking refuge in fresh air and open space, she leaves the metropolis for the coastal Essex, accompanied by her inquisitive and obsessive 11-year-old son, Francis, and the boy's nanny, Martha, her fiercely protective friend. Once there, they hear rumors that after nearly 300 years, the mythical Essex serpent, a fearsome creature that once roamed the marshes, has returned. When a young man is mysteriously killed on New Year's Eve, the community's dread transforms to terror. Cora, a keen amateur naturalist with no patience for religion or superstition, is immediately enthralled, certain that what locals think is a magical sea beast may be a previously undiscovered species. Eager to investigate, she is introduced to parish vicar William Ransom, who is equally suspicious of the rumors, but for different reasons. A man of faith, he is convinced the alarming reports are caused by a moral panic, a flight from the correct and righteous path. As Cora and William attempt to discover the truth about the Essex serpent's existence, these seeming opposites find themselves inexorably drawn to each other in an intense relationship that will change both of them in ways certainly unexpected. And as they search for answers, Cora's London past follows her to the coast with striking consequences. So again, this sounds like just a lovely gothic tale. I believe Tom Hiddleston is playing the vicar, so I'm just so excited. I'm gonna read this, and then I'm not sure where the show is supposed to be streaming. I want to say Stars, which I don't have, but I will find a way to watch this because this sounds wonderful. And then I picked up a book purely because of FOMO. I gave into the hype beast, and I picked up A Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I've yet to read any Madeline Miller. This book and Circe are incredibly popular, and I really like Greek myth retelling, so I'm kind of surprised I haven't read it yet. I was obsessed with Percy Jackson when I was a teenager, so this seems like a natural next step. I have heard this book will destroy me though, so I'm not sure how to feel about that. And again, I'm not sure when I'll get around to this one. And I was kind of holding out for both hardcover of this and Circe that I really like. But I figured this is pretty cool. I like this sort of shiny helmet on the front. And this is a retelling of Achilles and Patroclus' intimate relationship, and I assume their deaths. But I've heard this book will break me, so I'm gonna save this for when I need a nice cry. Yeah, this was a pretty good mini haul. Especially, I cannot get over that I got this copy for $3. I don't know if it's like a special edition copy or if this was like the UK I don't know. It's a naked hardback. Like, this is just what it looks like. There's no dust jacket. But I'm gonna keep it forever even if I don't like it because it's so pretty. So yeah, I'm gonna read Finlay Donovan, and I hope I can finish it tonight. I'm very close to the end, and where it's sort of like a cozy mystery, I kind of feel like everything's gonna start to like happen really fast, and I'm not gonna be able to put it down. That's what I'm hoping for anyways. And after that, I'm not sure what I'll pick up. I'm listening to Clara and the Sun, and sometimes I listen and read the book at the same time, but not usually. So I think I'll move on to something else from my TBR, because again, like I said earlier, the only book that's on my actual TBR that I've gotten to so far has been Eve Brown, so I gotta get moving on the rest of those books. So yeah, I'm gonna vlog some reading for a little bit, and hopefully have some updates for you once I finish Finlay Donovan. Hello, puppy. Hi. Hi, Rocket. Oh, okay. Cut away. I think it cut off before I finished. Oh my god. Holy crap. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this in before my camera dies. I just finished Finley Donovan is Killing It. Oh my god, it was so good. It wasn't quite as funny as I expected it to be. It was definitely like a cozy mystery. Lots of really good twists and turns. It's about a single mom who writes murder mysteries, and she's talking with her agent at a Panera Bread, and she's talking about the murder in her newest novel, and a woman overhears her and mistakes Finley for a contract killer, which is an amazing setup. I was sold. And it was just so fun. Oh my gosh, I think this would make a great like movie or series. And the ending, I believe this is going to be a book series. I sincerely hope so, because literally I gasped reading the last page, and I think my camera cut off right beforehand, so you missed my authentic reaction. But holy crap, this was really good. Probably like a 4.5 out of 5. I'm gonna stew on it a little bit, but oh my god, that was amazing. Loved this book. I'm so torn right now. I want to start Legendborn because it's on my official TBR. I rolled dice and landed on it, and I've been wanting to read it for so long. But I'm in the middle of My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. And I feel like I should finish that, but I'm home alone. And I'm worried I'm gonna get spooked. And my boyfriend isn't due home for like another couple of hours, so I think I'm gonna go for it. But if I get scared, I'm gonna put it down and switch over to Legendborn. Hello everyone, it is Friday. I just got off of work. I did some yoga. I watched way too much TikTok. So now it's about 6 o'clock and I want to paint my nails tonight. I am also currently in the middle of My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. It's getting interesting, and I don't know if I can talk too much about it because it's an arc, and it comes out in August. But it's about this girl named Jade, and she's half Indian. That's the term they use in the book. And she is 17 years old. She's just about to graduate high school, and she's obsessed with slasher movies. And she wants her life to be a slasher movie, and she's actually kind of convinced the plot of a slasher movie is about to unfold in her town. There's a lot of creepy lore surrounding this lake in her community called Indian Lake, and there's like a kind of like a Bloody Mary sort of situation, folktale that's really popular in the area, and she's researched a lot into that. There's this new girl in town who Jade has identified as the final girl of the situation because she doesn't believe herself to be a final girl because she's not pure enough. Yeah, so it's definitely, if you like slasher films and horror in general, I think this book is for you. I'm not super into horror movies. I actually prefer spooky books compared to spooky movies because I feel like movies kind of play up the gore in a lot of situations, and I don't super love that. I kind of prefer to be creeped out by the atmosphere of things, and I feel like books typically do that a little bit better. So I'm not quite as into all the references and stuff she's making. I know the big ones like Freddy and Jason and Michael and stuff, but it's a little difficult because I don't necessarily love the main character because I find her a little obnoxious, but she is 17 and she's obsessed with horror movies, so everybody's got their thing, especially when they're 17. But I am intrigued by the plot, so I'm kind of hoping the spooky stuff starts to pick up so she's less like in her own head about being a angsty teenager and more kind of surviving the situation. So it's promising. I'm hoping I like it. So I want to get to this tonight. If I can blast through and finish it, that'd be cool. I'm not quite sure how far I am into it, but I kind of feel like the plot's about to pick up. So looking forward to that. This weekend I also want to get to Legendborn. This one's pretty hefty. I think it's just shy of 500 pages, so I don't think I'm going to get to finish this weekend. But I'd like to at least start it. It's been on my TBR for a while, and it is officially a TBR pick for this month. Sorry, my bangs are like, they don't know what they're doing today. They're in that awkward like long phase where I can't wear them like straight across without them being in my eyes, but they look weird parted. So, you know, important problems, really. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to having kind of a chill night. My boyfriend and I are gonna watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4, I believe, when he gets home. So looking forward to that. But until then, just gonna be reading. So take you along with me. And maybe give you some updates if I finish the book tonight. Hello, so I'm here with a check-in. I'm on chapter 7 of My Heart is a Chainsaw, and I don't know how to feel. This arc doesn't have like percentages or page numbers, but I think I'm just about 50% of the way through. There's about 15 chapters. And I don't know, I've never read anything by Stephen Graham Jones before. I've been wanting to read The Only Good Indians, but I haven't gotten around to that one yet. So I don't know if I don't like his writing so far, or if I don't like the main character of this book. She's very much not like other girls. She's into slasher films. She likes metal music and D&D, and she knows all the words to her peers' parents' favorite songs. I can't tell if she's intentionally annoying or not, because it's really obnoxious being in her head. And I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, if something spooky doesn't happen, like right frickin' now, I'm DNFing this book. And then a dead body showed up, so there's promise. I don't know. I'm really intrigued by like the concept and the fact that like she's anticipating and witnessing the plot of basically what would be a slasher film sort of unfolding itself around her. And it's a spooky setup. There's a creepy lake, there's folklore about this dead girl in the lake killing people. The prologue was interesting. These two poor naked Dutch tourists got killed in a very spooky fashion. There was this sighting of a bunch of elk nearby without like heads, and they were just totally ripped to pieces. So something creepy is going on, but I can't get past how much I don't like the main character. And I'm trying to sort of give a little bit of leniency. This character's supposed to be 17. She's supposed to be kind of an edgy 17-year-old, so she's gonna behave in a certain way. I just wish we weren't quite so in her head, because it's making it difficult for me to enjoy this reading experience. So I'm hoping where I'm kind of approaching the last half, things are gonna really amp up and get spooky. So we'll see. I'm not DNFing quite yet, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this one. I hope so. I don't DNF books very often. So yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Stay tuned. Shh. Please don't fight me. Why are you so mean? Why are you so mean to me? Okay, bye. He does not like being held. It devastates me. Good morning. It is Saturday. Excuse the messy hair, but I got some book mail. And I figured I'd open at least one of them. One of them is my fairy loot. I'm actually be doing a separate video for that, so I'm not gonna unbox that now. But I have this. I've been collecting the old edition hardbacks of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. It has been reprinted with new cover art and stuff, and you can get them in hardcover, but like it just doesn't have the nostalgia factor for me. So I found The Last Olympian at my local bookstore a couple weeks ago for like $4, and it's in pretty good condition. I don't need them to be perfect, I just want them to be hardcover. The paperbacks are pretty easy to come by, but they're so beat up by now because, you know, years of middle schoolers just beating them to shit. So I went to eBay to see if I could order a couple more. And I'm kind of just doing like, you know, one or two at a time. The Titan's Curse, I could not find a cheap copy, like used. It was all a bunch of like first edition, like rare books, and they were like 20 bucks each, which isn't bad. I spent that much on a brand new hardcover, but I'm trying to get these like kind of cheap. I'm trying to be thrifty. So this is one of them. Excuse my cat and the outdoor noises. I have the window open. Anyways, this is one of them. I'm not sure which. I have a feeling it's the first one. We shall see. I thought I was gonna need some scissors for that, so that's nice. Okay. Yeah, it's the Lightning Thief. It looks definitely a little beat up, but that's fine. It's still the original cover, which makes my heart so happy. Again, just the nostalgia. I have the entire sequel series, Heroes of Olympus. I bought that a month or two ago. I was able to collect them all pretty quickly because those are more recent releases, so the hardcovers are a little easier to kind of track down. But especially the first couple for these, they're hard to come by, at least locally. That's how I try to do most of my book shopping. So I did have to go to the internet for this, but oh, it's so pretty. I love the greens and the blues and the gold in this. I do want to do a video at some point soon where I reread the whole Percy Jackson series. Rocket! Sorry, he has a ping pong ball. He's obsessed with those. But yeah, so I'm going to try to read the whole like original Percy Jackson series. So the first 5. Do like a vlog about it and like my thoughts, because I haven't read these since I think high school. I have very fond memories of them. I have very distinct memories of being disappointed by the 2 movies that they made. I'm very excited for the Disney show to come out. So yeah, that's part of why I think I kind of want to reread these, is because the show is coming out and just, you know, the trip down memory lane. And if that does well, I think I will do the sequel series as well and have a whole reading vlog, because I started that, but I don't think I ever read past Mark of Athena. And I believe there's 2 books after that. So it'd be nice to finally finish that series, and it's been too long for me to pick up the last couple books. I don't remember what the heck happened. So yeah, I'm so excited to have this. So now I have the first and the last one in the series, and I believe I have the Labyrinth one. I think that's 3 coming in, I think Monday, which is 2 days from now. And I still have to find the hardcover Sea of Monsters and the Titan's Curse and order those. But slowly but surely I'm collecting these, and I'm so happy. I did read a little bit more of My Heart is a Chainsaw last night. Sorry I didn't vlog. I have a hard time like vlogging while I'm reading. It's getting okay. Again, still kind of struggling with like the main character sort of annoying, but I'm so intrigued by the plot, so I want to keep reading it. I don't want to DNF it. I want to know what's happening. And all the reviews I've read for it have, like, there's not a whole lot because this doesn't come out until August. There's only like 2 or 3 Goodreads reviews that are more than just like, I'm so excited for this book. Yeah, so I want to know what happens. I'm intrigued, but it has started to pick up. Another person just died, so it's promising. Gonna try to read a little bit more of that today. Today's Saturday, which is the day Zach and I film, and we're gonna film the Fairy Loot unboxing, and I think that's it. So it should be a pretty chill day. So hopefully I'll have a lot of time for reading. Hello, we're about to film my first Fairy Loot unboxing. As you can see, my boyfriend takes gear and stuff quite seriously. I'm very lucky to have his help with all of this. So yeah, I'm excited for this Fairy Loot. From what they've teased, it seems really cool. So looking forward to it. Hello everyone! It is Monday and I need to wrap up this reading vlog. I did end up finishing My Heart is a Chainsaw this weekend, and I did start Legendborn today, so let me get into that. But first I want to show you a couple books. So every now and then I like to go to Books A Million and check out their bargain book section. It doesn't turn over a whole lot, so I usually give a little bit of time between each trip. But last time I went, and I actually vlogged the Shop With Me video, I saw a couple Riley Sager books that at the time I was like, I don't know if I want to read those, but I don't know, something about it, just, I regretted not picking them up because they were only like $6 or $7 each. So the Riley Sager book that I really want to read next is Lock Every Door, but I cannot find it for a good price. It's always like $20. But I was able to get these two, The Last Time I Lied and Final Girls. Final Girls I know is about like a group of girls who were like the final girls in their like horror movie situations, basically. So the main character is a woman named Quincy Carpenter. She went on vacation with 5 friends and came back alone, the only survivor of a horror movie scale massacre. And then like there's a couple other girls from similar situations in which they were the lone survivor, but I believe they're getting killed off like one by one. So that's intriguing, and I think just part of the inspiration for me picking these up finally was my experience reading My Heart is a Chainsaw, and again, I'll get to that in a minute. This is sort of in the same vein, horror movie, massacre, final girl situation, but I really like Riley Sager. I know this. Home Before Dark is one of my favorite thrillers. So yeah, this one I got for $6, Final Girls I got for $7. Which is a pretty good price for a hardcover. That's cheaper than you can get them from Book of the Month, which I believe has both of these books. Okay, so this is about a bunch of girls in a cabin at a summer camp, and some of them go missing, and I think the main character is the only one that didn't. And as an adult, she returns there, which is the first time the camp has opened its doors since the disappearances. And she's even assigned to the same cabin she slept in as a teenager, and she kind of has to figure out the mystery behind the disappearances from her youth. But yeah, so those are the 2 Riley Sager books I got. And then I knew those ones were there because they were there the last time, and I was hoping they'd still be there. But I knew to look for them. This one was a complete, like, I just stumbled upon it, and I'm so glad I did because I really loved her other book. But I got The Escape Room by Megan Golden, and I read The Night Swim last year, like right when it came out, and it was so good. And I've heard this one is also really good. This came out first, obviously, but I believe this was her debut, and it has to do with like a company sort of team building exercise in an escape room, and something goes very, very wrong. So the blurb says, in this unforgettable debut, 4 young Wall Street rising stars discover the price of ambition when an escape room challenge turns into a lethal game of revenge. Welcome to the escape room. Your goal is simple. Get out alive. That premise just sounds so fun to me. I didn't mean to pick up a bunch of like thrillers and mysteries, but again, where I really liked Megan Golden's other book, I was pretty much sold on this one, especially for $6, also bargain priced. So that was a pretty good haul from Books A Million. They have like used books, but not in the same capacity as my local bookstore does. And if it's not in the bargain section, their books are not cheap. So I pretty much stick to that section. And their used books are honestly kind of hard to find among the stacks of all their other books. My local bookstore is really good about marking them on the spines. I don't know if you can see behind me, but there's like a lot of pre-owned stickers on the spines. So my eyes like just zero in on those, and Books A Million doesn't really do that. Speaking of pre-owned books, I talked about this earlier in the vlog. Ooh, this feels kind of crooked. But I am collecting the old school hardbacks for Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I currently have The Lightning Thief and The Last Olympian, so 1 and 5. And I believe this is number 3. It might be 4, I'm not totally sure. No, it's the wrong cover. This is disappointing. So this is the reprint. This is also a library binding copy, which they did not say that on eBay. That's just my reaction for the day. It was a long day at work, and I was so excited, and now I'm sad. So these are the editions of Percy Jackson I am looking for. They have the solid color spine, the illustration here. They're the original covers. And they're kind of harder to come by now because they're older, and they have since started reprinting them with different artwork that wraps around the spine. But yeah, so this was not the edition that I wanted. I wanted the old school one, the original one. So now I don't know what to do with this. It's the library binding too, so it's like really beat up. That's disappointing. Okay. The picture was the original cover. on eBay. So now I'm really disappointed because it's really hard to find these in person. So I was hoping that the picture was accurate so I could trust buying them online. I don't want to like keep buying them and keep getting the wrong ones. So that's a super big bummer. What else do I got? Okay, so before again I get into My Heart is a Chainsaw, I did start Legendborn today at work on my lunch break. I am only 19 pages in. It's good so far. I do like the writing style. There's already a lot of like commentary on grief and how the main character Bree is handling her mom's death and how other people around her are handling it. Literally someone who meets her at a party goes, "Oh, you're the guy, or you're the girl with the dead mom, right?" And I was like, in what world is that appropriate? No world is that appropriate. It's really interesting to get like a fantasy like this in the perspective of a young African-American woman, teenager really, actually, she's only 16. You don't see that a lot in fantasy, so I'm really looking forward to this and sort of the unique perspective that brings on the genre. And again, I've heard nothing but good things about this book, so I'm really excited to get into it. I barely started it today. I'm gonna hopefully read a little bit more tonight. What I didn't enjoy, what is going to be, I'm sure, a very coherent review of my thoughts on My Heart is a Chainsaw. So, this is an arc. I've been talking about it for most of this vlog. This comes out in August, I believe. It is written by Stephen Graham Jones, who wrote The Only Good Indians, which came out last year. I've heard that's very good. Haven't read it yet. I still want to. I did not love this book. But it's not because it's bad. I don't think it's bad. It's not written poorly. I just don't think this book was for me. And I've expressed that again previously in this vlog. I had issues relating to the main character. Not that protagonists have to be relatable. I don't believe that. But I found her actively annoying, and that's kind of hard to get past for me. But she is a very edgy teenager. She went through some trauma when she was like really young, so I get why she is the way she is. But she just kind of goes on these very long, rambly like things. Even when she's just talking to people, totally unprompted, she'll just like go into slasher film trivia. And I think if I were in that situation, I would slowly back away because it's intense. And again, this is very much a love letter to slasher films. And while I enjoy a good thriller, a good mystery, a good horror novel even, I've never been a huge fan of slasher films. The scary movies that I gravitate to are more kind of supernatural, spooky, or like haunted house, like type of situations. I do not love Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. The movie that she talks about the most that I do actually like is Scream from the 90s, and that's because it's a very self-aware slasher film, and it kind of pokes fun at itself in the genre. So if you like those films, she goes on a lot about all of them, so I think that's probably pretty fun if you do like those. It just wasn't for me. I did enjoy the third act, sort of, but I did think it was gonna kind of get a lot spookier and a lot gorier a lot faster than it did. A couple dead bodies pop up, but other than the prologue, it's very slow through a good 2/3 to 3/4 of the novel. The action at the end is really good, really scary. Very gory, will say that. If you have a problem with body horror and gore, maybe avoid this one. But it was a really good final scene, and I did enjoy that. Oh, that final scene. I actually, the actual final scene that closed the book, I was like, what the fuck? But the final action sort of in this horror movie sequence was done well. I just didn't care by the end. So I had a hard time where I wasn't invested in the main character. I didn't care what happened to everyone else either. So it is what it is. Again, I don't think it's a bad book. It's not poorly written. I still want to check out The Only Good Indians at some point, maybe closer to spookier season, because maybe that's part of it. Maybe I'm just like not in the mood for spooky, gory book right now because it's April. I gave it a 2 out of 5, I believe. Again, not the worst thing I've ever read, just I don't think I was its target audience, so I probably should have avoided this one or DNF'd it even, because I didn't enjoy it. I spent all of yesterday, Sunday, desperately trying to finish up this book. And by the time I was done, it was like 3:30, and I was like, I feel like I just wasted my whole Sunday. Which I feel is really mean, because again, not a horrible book, just not for me, and I shouldn't have pushed my way through it, because I thought it would be worth it in the end, the payoff of like the scariness finally coming to fruition. I just didn't care by the end, so it didn't impact me as much as it could have or should have even. So those are my thoughts on that, and I think that's where I'm gonna wrap up this reading vlog, because I'm pretty sure I've just ranted for 30 minutes now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope my next reading vlog, I actively like the books I'm reading a little bit better. I did really enjoy Finley Donovan is Killing It. I know that did not last very long into this vlog because I was practically done with it by the time I started filming, but highly recommend that book if you like cozy mysteries with sort of a funny protagonist. And again, if you like slasher, horror, gory films and you don't mind a really edgy, not like other girls protagonist, I would recommend My Heart is a Chainsaw. But for me, the best thing about it was the title. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.